He can get another play or two off. And here's McCown stepping up, and he drills it. And the pass is caught by Mike Evans. And T.J. McDonald on the hit, and Evans is shaken off.
Either the coaches or the punter are making that mistake.
On first down, McCown going for a long ball. And he's got Mike Evans, but a flag is out.
Jump ball. And it is a touchdown to Mike Evans, the rookie out of Texas A&M. The first down, pump fake. Glennon looking down the sideline for Evans, and it's a catch. We're waiting for the sideline official to say out of bounds.
3rd and 10 after the timeout. Glennon from the gun. There's it out over the middle. They've got the first down and a lot more. It's caught out of bounds. Mike Evans, the rookie out of Texas A&M, 18th reception of the season, 25 yards and a first down.
A receiver to go opposite of Vincent Jackson. They should be playing much better than what we're seeing.
2nd and 10. Glennon towards the end zone. Caught for the touchdown. Mike Evans, the rookie wide receiver, 17 yards.
Glennon on first down to throw down the sideline, and he completes the pass to Mike Evans. Big time completion on first down, 40 yards.
Jackson goes, Mike Evans goes too.
Wow, a bad spot. It looked like they clearly had the first down. Instead, now the pass to Evans, and that should be a first down. There is a flag. It looks like it's going to be pass interference against Xavier Rhodes.
7th play of this drive. Blitz coming. He gets it away, looking down the sideline. Evans able to haul it in inside the 20, down to the 17.
Look for blitz 0. They've got the entire defense up.
And here they come. And Glennon gets it away to the end zone. And that is a touchdown for Mike Evans.
You hit him in stride, like we said. That's a huge play.
Now looking to the end zone. And what a throw and what a catch for a touchdown. Second today by the rookie, Mike Evans.
The type of quarterback he is, and he's been a better quarterback in every game in the second half.
Wide open down the field, and delivering the strike is Glennon to Evans, and that's to the 45-yard line. And he's had it on the other side as Evans comes down with a reception this time. Looking to the end zone, and Evans went up and got it, and that is a touchdown for Mike Evans.
McCown going up on top, and it's caught by Mike Evans. Evans trying to break away. He's got the size, and he carried Tracy Porter.
Now with Josh McCown back.
2nd and 8 on the 35, and Charles Sims has been the leading rusher for the Bucs today, but this is going to be a pass, and here's Evans in the end zone for the touchdown. Mike Evans. 2nd down and 16. And McCown going deep for Evans. He's got it, and he scores. Mike Evans, maybe having a career game in his rookie year. And what a mismatch downfield with the linebacker, Perry Riley Jr.
He was injured during training camp and had ankle surgery in August. Looking for Evans, wide open, touchdown Buccaneers. He beat fellow rookie Kyle Fuller down the sideline and may get a penalty flag for taunting Fuller.
Baltimore Ravens got to pick it up.
Here's McCown surveying the field. 2nd and 16. Pressure on the pass, right on the release, and the officials say it is a completed pass.
1st and goal from the 5, and the pass is caught for the touchdown by Mike Evans. McCown gets time for a change, and this pass to Evans, and it is ruled a touchdown. Now, they're going to see whether he was bobbling it, whether he had control. 3rd and 2, and here comes the fade to Evans, and Evans is there for the touchdown. Mike Evans in a jump ball against Josh Norman, the cornerback, and Evans with his 11th touchdown catch of the season.
Bucks going backwards on offense. Pass is caught. That's Mike Evans' first catch of the game, and you get a good look at the 7th overall pick. And that's a first down, and the Bucks first.
Good job on the defense, Mike Evans.
3rd and goal. McCown pressured, throws, touchdown! Mike Evans!
Wedged into the far side, it's Evans, first down. From the Redskins 40, Winston with time, looking for Evans downfield, he's got it, touchdown, Mike Evans, his first of the season. Pamfield in once again, 64, as an extra blocker, and the catch is made by Mike Evans, inside the 20, stays on his feet, and is finally tackled at the 12-yard line by Bashaud Breeland. So Evans, who had the touchdown earlier, gains 25. Dante Dye split out to the left. 3rd down and 7. It is Evans. Mike Evans makes the catch. Winston on first down. Good protection. Throws. Mike Evans makes the catch. He's in Giants territory. Evans inside the 30. And he is chased down at the 15-yard line. Tackled by Jonathan Casillas. Officially marked down at the 12. A 68-yard catch and run. Manning on 4th down. Throws deflected. Pass intended for Beckham.
Jameis Winston threads it in.
Looking Evans' way, they pump, they're going to go to him again. Great catch. Mike Evans, what an adjustment.
Big time player, I think, for years to come.
On second, Blitz is picked up. Winston going far side of the field, and what a catch that is.
You've done what you've done. Just be quiet, go about your job. Stop acting like a clown.
1st and 20, Winston over the middle, caught. Evans took it away and still going. Boy, he had the drops earlier, but a couple of big plays.
Who's been his favorite target. It'll be 2nd down and goal, and going Evans' way, and the jump ball, and did he make the catch? He did. Touchdown, the Buccaneers. And that's what Mike Evans at 6'5" can do in a tight covered situation. A 4-yard touchdown catch. Nolan Carroll on the coverage. Doug Martin back in there. A first down on the 38. Deep drop this time by Jameis Winston. And the pass is going to be caught by Mike Evans. Evans making the catch and a big play inside the 15-yard line.
Talk about spreading the football around.
Has he ever? Here's Winston with time. Going to air this one out, and it's going to be caught once again by Mike Evans. Evans with a... Looking for the stop here on 3rd and 5. Low snap, roll out by Winston, and it's caught by Evans and a first down. Connecting on big 3rd down passes. Quite a laundry list there. First down and 20. Escaping danger, and the pass down to the 30-yard line. And for Tampa Bay, first down on the 36. Jameis Winston in again at quarterback, and he drills it, and it is caught to the 49-yard line by Mike Evans. Falcons with a timeout have 1 left to stop the clock. 1:46. Here's Winston, and Winston's pass, and into the end zone. Touchdown! Mike Evans. 6'5", Mike Evans with a height advantage over all of their defenders.
Image is now the 22. Pump. Winston goes long. It's complete again to Evans.
Jaworski Lane is the fullback.
Off the play fake, Winston wanted to go deep, goes outside of Mike Evans, and it's ruled out of bounds. He didn't get both feet down inbound.
Second down and 10. Another play action. And Winston going on top, and it's caught by Mike Evans. And Evans out of bounds near midfield by Charles Tillman. And here's the pass, and it is caught by Evans. And a first down. They up Tampa Bay. Kevin Pamphile, the extra offensive lineman in the game. Play action. And here's the drill pass, and it is caught by Evans. And Evans, protecting the ball, gets to the 32-yard line.
Guys, no more penalties.
Thanks, Holly. On first down, Jameis Winston turns and completes to Mike Evans. And Evans fights his way up to the 40-yard line. Jameis Winston steps up and throws deep, looking for Evans. And he's got it for a touchdown.
And when you're getting shut out, any points sounds like a good idea. But when you're down 24-0, you need a touchdown. And that's exactly what they get this time. They're able to beat Peterson. And Evans with a touchdown reception. Beautifully thrown ball.
Winston flush from the pocket, being chased by three defenders. Off balance, touchdown! Touchdown to Mike Evans. Evans with the touchdown.
First and 10. This is Winston off the seam. Evans wide open. Rare opening in the back end of that Denver secondary.
Career in finance on Wall Street. I was at Harvard, did an internship with a hedge fund.
Got him.
Open receiver and a touchdown for Mike Evans.
That's what Jameis Winston is paid to do.
Go. Second and 11. Open on target to Evans. Pass was a little bit underthrown, but a gain all the way up to the 40. Third down and 9. Here comes extra pressure again. On the move, he throws it. It's caught. There's a flag down. Winston has it on the move. End zone throw for Evans. He reaches up, grabs it, and touchdown Buccaneers.
Try to make it a 7-point lead. They're 1 for 3 on 2-point conversions this year. Winston in trouble, throws, caught! Mike Evans brings in the 2-point conversion.
Then on second and goal, the fake. And then Winston looks into the end zone, throws, caught, touchdown, Mike Evans. There's Paulie, at least for the moment, on the bench. Second down and 15 from the 24. And going to the end zone and holding, touchdown, Mike Evans. Well, you got a 6'5" guy going against a 5'10" corner, and the 7 inches pays off. From the 42, Winston. Wow, there's that one-handed catch. What a grab, but Evans gets one. So he couldn't make the one-hander on the play before.
It's coming out because they needed to start fast here, and right now it doesn't look like they're doing it.
3rd and 10, Jameis pressured again, spins out of it. Jameis in his own end zone. Waiting for somebody to get open, looks deep down the field. Mike Evans.
Greatest venues, but one of the most intelligent home crowds you'll face in the NFL. When you get into the red zone, they just amp it up.
Mike Evans wide open, makes the catch for Tampa Bay following the timeout. Winston throws, looking for Evans. He makes the catch. Mike Evans inside the 5-yard line of Kansas City. Martin set up to the left of Winston. Winston has it. He throws, end zone, touchdown, Mike Evans. The bunch, Peyton Barber in the backfield from the Seattle 23. 26-yard line. Play action. Winston on third down. Throws back across the field. And it's complete for a first down. It's Evans.
Shifts Mike Evans. Winston with time. Nobody open. Now he throws on the run, and it is caught by Evans. Beautiful grab, and again, Winston going to his left, throwing back.
Three receivers to the right. Winston rolls, in trouble, got a free, throws, and it's good to Mike Evans. He slipped Joey Bosa and was able to make the throw to Mike Evans.
30 in scoring defense, giving up 28 points per game. They've given up 16, and Winston on a third down. That is some kind of catch by Evans. That was not a good throw.
Cowboys looking like they'll blitz. Back off. And the pass is caught. Mike Evans goes to the ground and somehow is able to corral it.
From the 34 on first down. Winston throws. And it is Evans who makes the catch. There is a flag. Evans in for a touchdown.
Second down and goal. And Winston throws, and that is a touchdown for Evans.
A field goal on the first series. Stopped them on 3rd and 1. And here is Winston's pass to the end zone to Mike Evans. Touchdown. On Monday. Don't forget, we're only going to be at halftime here. And here's Winston. And he completes the pass to Mike Evans. And Evans goes out of bounds. They got what they wanted. 7 seconds to go. And the field goal team is going to come on. And Winston completes it to Evans and another first down. They have not touched Jameis Winston.
First throw of the day. Winston steps up and delivers a strike. And that's his favorite target, the 24-year-old out of Galveston, Texas, Mike Evans.
About 193 yards on the ground last Sunday. Winston on first and goal to the minute remaining. Third down and 3 from the Giants 32. Winston can't find anyone. And now it's Evans. Mike Evans. What a catch. From the 38 on first down. Winston over the middle to Mike Evans. In Giants territory, another Bucs first down.
Pick thrown by Brady in 265 passes. And now, on first down, Winston has a completion to Evans. Great grab. Very popular teammate on this Buccaneers squad. They fake to him. And Winston's pass is complete to Evans. Just as they started the first drive, they go to Evans on the first play of the series and pick up a first down.
Second down and 8 from the 49-yard line. Fitzpatrick going deep for Evans, and Evans makes the catch. A spectacular catch by Mike Evans for a 41-yard pickup. 27-yard pass play. And now Fitzpatrick going deep for Evans. Evans in the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown. Mike Evans.
Want a little bit of safety help. Jordan Poyer cheating that way a little bit.
Winston on the move for the end zone. Mike Evans, did he hold on? Touchdown, Tampa Bay! He had to catch it and keep his feet in, and I don't know how he did it. Mike Evans with a good catch at the 43-yard line of Carolina for a first down.
But there would have been a first down. So now it is second down and 10 for Fitzpatrick. And the pass is going to be caught by Mike Evans. His second catch of the game. Caught one early. And Mike Evans has the Tampa Bay Buccaneers inside the 10-yard line.
Statistically, but behind on the scoreboard. Over the middle and caught. That's at the 11 to Evans again.
The 2 seasons prior to being the Atlanta head coach, he was the defensive coordinator for the Seahawks. Brought a lot of those principles here. Winston, nice job to avoid the blitzing Keanu Neal. Now launches one, and it is caught for a touchdown by Mike Evans.
That's what I've been waiting to see. That's what this crowd has been waiting to see.
Barber in the backfield. Winston on second down, looking for Mike Evans. He makes the catch. Evans comes up with it.
And it is a catch, or is it? It is by Evans. Blitz, one-on-one coverage, and he beat it. Mike Evans, Buccaneer touchdown. $50 yards. Fitzpatrick put it right on the money.
Touchdown passes today, 4 in the opener last week. On second and goal, Fitzpatrick to the end zone, touchdown, his 4th of the game. It's Mike Evans.
Look how confident Ryan Fitzpatrick looks. You see his little high step running off the sideline. He is in some kind of zone these first 2 weeks of the season. And Mike Evans now, he is just too tough to deal with. This is a great route.
One of the best receivers, and that's what he does so well. Quick passes and then stretch the field.
Fitz with time and connects with Mike Evans. And look at the yards after the catch from big 6'5" Evans, and yet another penalty as Sean Davis pushed him out.
He's the protector in the backfield.
The 5'6" Jaquiz Rogers. Into the hands somehow of Mike Evans. Draped by Steelers, and yet Evans does that.
He got him.
Does he? Yes! Mike Evans waited for it. Hold it in.
Let's go.
With his receivers.
Fake the run, and what a reception by Evans, his first of the game.
Jaquiz Rogers is in the backfield now. A good pass catching back on 3rd down. Winston being pressured, throws, completes to Mike Evans. He's got a first down at the Browns' 22-yard line. Deshaun Jackson is in. Winston with time, wanted to go deep to Jackson, goes the other side and finds a man open and completes it to Mike Evans into Browns territory.
Jameis Winston for Evans. He's got him. And Evans has a catch inside the 20 and goes out of bounds to stop the clock. That's a good-looking play for Tampa Bay. On 2nd and 14. Fitzpatrick protected deep. He's got Mike Evans all alone. Mike Evans is in for a Buccaneer score. Touchdown. Once referred to as Fitz Magic. And the Buccaneers are hoping for Fitzpatrick protected well. Sideline throw for Evans. He makes the catch, and he was being harassed all the way, and here come the flags. Fitzpatrick steps up and delivers. What a catch by Evans. So already one more reception for this two-time Pro Bowl wide receiver. Winston still on his feet, trying to beat a defender around the edge, and he fumbles the ball, and who's got it? Looks like Mike Evans has it down there.
Yes.
It was stripped away by Edwards, but it looks like Evans is at the bottom of the pile with a football, and it will be a touchdown if that's the case. His fumble recovered by Evans in the end zone for a touchdown, and in 7 plays, 77 yards, and now he's got him on the go to completion. Evans across midfield to the 45. Four-man rush and looking for a wide open receiver, and that is a touchdown to Mike Evans. And lo and behold, how about Jameis Winston?
The eyes of defenders, right, but they just haven't been on it all year this year.
Third down and 8 as Winston fires downfield for Mike Evans. He's got it.
Definitely the sun, but that wind was really strong. We were down there pregame.
First and 10 for the Bucs from the 23 as Winston fires out to the 39-yard line. Mike Evans, and now he's shaken up. Godwin, number 12. DeMar Dotson returns at right tackle, missed last week's game. Empty backfield as Winston with a perfect touch connects with Mike Evans in Saints territory.
It's like an episode of Where's Waldo, that childhood book.
Yeah, I read it.
It's hard to find those guys.
Hard to find Winston on this play as he lets go downfield to Evans. Evans makes the catch, and Evans still on his feet. And a face mask call coming up as well on Jimmy Smith.
You want to try to get this score before the 2-minute warning, take a shot into the end zone. Of course, you're relying on an onside kick.
Taco Charlton can't get home. The pass is into the end zone for the touchdown, Evans.
Kappa hair right there. That's a lot of hair.
They got hair and oil. Here's Winston going to the end zone to Evans, and it is a touchdown. Mike Evans with a terrific catch and not much room to work. A 19-yard touchdown pass, beating Trufant to the ball.
Grind it out, eat up some clock.
Barber has 49 yards. He's averaged 4.5 yards a carry, and here's Evans with the catch, and here's Evans going up the middle and now to the sideline, out of bounds. A big gain on a short pass to Evans, and got the yardage. One up there in the Ivy League battle. First and goal, and the pass caught, touchdown pass to Mike Evans. Buccaneers are not through yet, folks, as Jameis Winston with a touchdown pass, his third of the game, 10 yards to Evans.
I expect that to prepare him in this season.
Play action on first down. Winston escapes the pressure, and now he throws, and a diving catch is made out at the 43-yard line by Mike Evans.
5 of their top 5 picks in the draft were defensive players, but the big key was bringing in Todd Bowles.
Here's one deep and caught by Evans.
Now calling plays, the offensive coordinator. Third down and 6. Winston, end zone. Evans, touchdown. Second and goal. Jones in the backfield. Winston, quick release. And taking it in for his second touchdown in this first quarter is Mike Evans.
Thank you, man.
Rondo will become the 13th inductee in the Bucs Ring of Honor as Winston goes deep for Evans. He's got it. That is finally cracked down by Janoris Jenkins. Mike Evans, first and 10 from the Giants' 20-yard line. Play action as Winston throws. It's Evans, his third touchdown here in the first half. There it goes. Winston looking for Evans. He makes the catch. Mike Evans with his first reception of the second half.
Winston to throw. Deep down the middle. He's got it. And to the end zone. Mike Evans. Touchdown.
Make this a 2-possession game. Winston rolling out, and it's tipped in the air, but then caught by Evans, just like he draw it up.
They've got another opportunity after a good punt return. Winston to the air on first down, looking for a big play for Evans inside the 10. He leaps up and makes the catch. First and goal, Tampa. It's Tampa's longest third down today. 3rd and 17. Winston under pressure again. Able to buy time and looking deep for Evans on the sideline. It's a jump ball and Evans makes the catch.
It's unbelievable.
So from the 44, Tampa Bay going to work. And Winston going up top, looking for Evans again. Fingertip grab at the 15.
Lots of time. Does not affect them.
Second and goal. Here's Winston. Looking. Throws. End zone. Evans. Touchdown. From the 48 on first down. Winston throws. It's Evans at the 31. Another timeout taken by the Bucs here. From the 29 on first down. Winston throws and it's caught by Evans. Mike Evans into Seahawks territory.
Good protection this time, and leaping into the air to haul it in is Mike Evans.
This is your evaluation of me. I need to get better. He worked at it and got better.
And now Winston throws to Evans. He's inside the 40, the 35, all the way to the 29-yard line for Mike Evans. Jameis fires a dart, first down up to the 35, and then perhaps 15 more coming after that.
But you can't give him a big hug.
4:09 to go, and Winston quickly into the hands of Evans. And he's still on his feet inside the 10, inside the 5, and tackled at the 2-yard line, close to the 1-yard line.
It'll be 2nd and 16 for Winston. And the pass is caught in stride by Mike Evans.
Amazing to watch. I can't think of many quarterbacks like it.
Winston's first down pass up the seam, wide open is his man, it's caught! Mike Evans for the touchdown! Down by 17. End zone passes Evans and a touchdown.
Penalties an issue last week for Tampa as well.
Brady deep down the middle for Evans. Inside the 30 of Carolina, and Mike Evans is down to the 21. Brady pumps and throws. Back shoulder for Evans, and just like that, touchdown Tampa Bay. Quick throw past the sticks. Tumbling catch is made. Quick throw into that tunnel, and it's caught for a touchdown by Mike Evans. The right tackle works. Brady for Evans. Another snare and another touchdown.
For the first 3 weeks of the season, this is a 3rd and goal. Brady tosses. Touchdown! The Gronk is 6'6". 2nd and 20. Another deep shot for Brady. Evans adjusts. Takes a hard shot inside the 10. Mike Evans, one of the elite receivers in the NFL.
That's not what Arians was looking for. Here is Evans, and they get the touchdown anyway, and a flag is thrown.
Ends up being a 9-yard penalty. Brady throwing for Evans in his neighborhood. Got it.
Brady, 4-man rush, going to float one down the far sideline. It is caught by Evans. Fake to Fournette. Brady steps into it, throws. Evans as he inbounds. Touchdown! Quick throw outside, and Evans corrals it. Mike Evans staying on his feet and diving for the end zone.
Pressure by the Rams. Brady able to throw and hit Evans again. Got the first down, trying to spin for more. Still on his feet, and he gets there.
This is Spags over and over the years.
Brady's going for the big ball. He's open! Evans for the touchdown!
Backs like McCoy, they find those kind of lanes.
Brady throws, sideline, Evans. What a throw and catch.
On the fake, Brady with a lot of time, steps into it, guns it complete, Evans surging for the end zone.
Brady, three-man rush, all kinds of time, and he hits Evans, who makes him pay. Evans into Atlanta territory. And Brady moves away from pressure, looking, signaling, throwing. It is caught inside the 5.
From the 32. Brady with time, has a man wide open in Mike Evans. Brady looking deep again. Mike Evans, he gets the separation and the score. Tying his career long. That's now 8 20-plus yard passing plays for Buccaneers quarterbacks. Make it 9 and another touchdown. To buy the extra man. Gabbert finds Evans again. Spinning to the outside is out of bounds.
45. At age 43, Arian says he's playing like he's 33. Protected well. Open in the middle of the field, inside the 15 and down to the 12.
2nd and 8. No snap. Brady's got that. Shot downfield for Evans. From the 3, Brady throws. Pass caught. Evans touchdown. Held the Rams to 2 for 8. Brady floats it. He's got Evans. What a throw and a sliding catch. Brady throws end zone. He's got Evans for the touchdown.
So it wouldn't be quite that high. Of course, the career not as long either. 1st and 10. Brady from the pocket. He's got Evans.
From the 25 on the fake, it's Brady, has a all day, lets it go, and is caught. Evans comes.
And it's a big reason Brady can do what he does with these offensive weapons.
Ball 2nd down and 2. 4-man rush. Brady taps the ball, throws. Evans again, down the seam. It's an. Brady's going to throw a fade, corner of the end zone. Evans, he's got it. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Up by 3. Almost 11 minutes left. Brady, a lot of time, airing it out. Caught by Evans inside the 20. A hook up to Mike Evans again. His 5th catch here today and a 1st down.
28 yards more to set the record. Fires, caught, and that should do it. Mike Evans will take it to the 15-yard line, and so on that play, over the middle for 27 yards.
Brown, by the way, just went over 100 yards.
55.
With that catch. 6 for 101, 2 touchdowns.
To Evans. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
There is a marker down.
Well, the next-gen stat go route we talked about. Wow, right?
Here's a 2nd and 11. Brady.
It's going to be another touchdown for Evans. He whipped it in there.
Evans caught it at the 5, turned around, made the move to the end zone, and he's got a 100-yard game and 2 touchdowns as well, just like Antonio Brown.
Evans, 600 it is.
Oh, that was the 600. Gotcha. I've never heard of 600 in anything in football, but Brady has it with a strike.
Mack is out for this play for that Chicago defense. Deep ball time, and is it there? Yes, it is. Evans beating Jalen Johnson. And now back to Evans, turns around, makes the catch. What a turnaround just in time.
Goes right back at Johnson.
Chicago #1 in the league coming in with sacks. None today. 3rd and goal. Step up and now throw it. And it's caught for the touchdown. Evans with his 3rd of the game. Brady with his 4th.
I thought you said Godwin was going to have a big game.
Yeah, I guess.
On 3rd and 3, they protect Brady. Scans the field and lets it fly. It's Evans. It's a touchdown.
There's a flag down as he beats Lattimore for a 41-yard score. Washington brings some pressure. Brady's got Evans. There he goes. Touchdown, Mike Evans. Tampa Bay back within a score.
Giants only rushing 3, all sorts of time. Touchdown, Tampa Bay, Mike Evans.
Look for a run play here, Kenny.
Well, Brady has other ideas. On 2nd and 10, going deep for Evans. He's got it. Mike Evans makes the catch at the Falcons' 11.
We're watching him live right now.
It's great to hear the banter back and forth.
Oh, yes.
3rd down and 8. Brady throws. Evans.
Nice catch.
Makes the catch for a Bucs first down.
We're going to find out. This is a big.
Into the end zone. And it's pulled down. What a catch. Mike Evans.
Oh, my goodness.
Blitzing. Brady has to launch it. And Evans catches it. Oh, how about that pass play? Down to the 2.
You're not going to get spread out and do all this stuff. You got to be able to show run or pass.
2nd and 8. Caught. Evans. First down all the way out to the 35. So they get out of that jam back near the 10-yard line.
And becomes the #1 recruit in the country.
3rd and 4. He's out as a receiver here. Brady over the middle for Evans, who hangs on. Mike Evans goes up and makes the contested catch for the first down.
Now he's moving. Brady floats one for the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans hauls it in. He's also bothered by a sore ankle. Brady floats one and running under it and making a juggling catch is Mike Evans. That's Vaughn, who just shifted in the backfield. Brady toward the end zone. Mike Evans has got it.
Herbert's just a young guy who's got all-world talent as well.
Lofts it toward the end zone. Evans again. Touchdown, Tampa.
To Rob Gronkowski opposite of him.
Brady, Evans inside the 5. 1st and goal. The muff punt, 2nd straight time the Bucs have started inside Eagles territory. Brady, Evans is in for the touchdown with a flare.
Early this time, wide to the left. Brady looking the other way. Brady going deep down the right sideline for Evans. He makes the catch. He's in for the score. Covered by Ramsey.
1st and goal from the 5. Brady. Evans. Did he catch it? Yes, sir. Touchdown. Hard to beat in the air. Mike Evans.
Brady lost one. Wide open is Evans. Now it's a one-on-one race. Down to the 30, and he's shoved out of bounds there, but a big one on 3rd down as Mike Evans got open.
You just don't count this guy out.
The 36 looking deeper downfield, and on cue, there it is, Chris. And it is Evans taking it to the 34-yard line, a gain of 30. Brady with time to the end zone, to Evans, holds on. Great catch for the touchdown. Excellent fundamentals there. 2nd and goal. Out of the gun, Brady looking. Evans brought it in. Great catch. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
And now you can see how they can get methodical with you and just grind out the clock.
Corner blitz this time. It's picked up. Brady steps into one. What a shot. Evans breaks the tackle. Mike Evans inside the 5.
2nd and 10. Sets up to pass.
Perfect strike, complete. There's his top target, Mike Evans, the 9-year vet, longest tenured Buccaneer on offense, and he picks up 20 and a first down.
4-0 with Tom Brady are the Bucs against the Panthers, trailing today. 2nd down and 9. Evans
nice catch.
Makes the catch in Panthers territory.
2nd and 10. Brady going deep and caught by Evans. Contested catch. Beautiful grab. 12-yard line over Marlon Humphrey.
Bosa lined up over here, and this back hit him. Look where Bosa lined up this time.
Other side. Brady lofting one. Evans. Great catch. Mike Evans into 49ers territory. And that's a first down conversion.
He knows what it is. The motion, man-to-man coming across, slant, something crossing quickly.
Tried to squeeze it in there to Evans. And Eli Apple's certain that that ball hit the ground, but the officials say otherwise.
Yeah, here we go. They bringing pressure right up the middle with all 3 guys. Brady caught it. He checked it.
Fournette blocked it. Brady's sideline shot is caught by Evans. There's the timing you were looking for earlier. Right to the edge of field goal range at the 32-yard line.
Chin playing down there in that nickel spot. You see him there again.
Brady loading up, going deep. Evans is open. He's got it in for the touchdown.
Well, we've said it a bunch of times. I don't care how many he drops or how many are incomplete. You have to continue to give one of your best players, one of the top receivers in the league, chances to do. They're starting to get on the same page at the right time.
3rd down here. All day. Brady letting it fly. Evans is open again. He's got it. Evans inside the 10, and he scores. I think they're back. Panthers drop. Brady going deep. Evans again. He's got it. Number 3.
In that 06 game. But, and still Tampa throws it, and they threw it, and they threw it, and they can't establish a run game. And, the Dallas defense, I mean, you want to throw the football against his pass rush the entire time. That's exactly what they're built for.
It was new. It's in the end zone. Good name for a play.
Second down and 10. Mayfield looking for Evans. He's got him. Touchdown! Baker Mayfield to Mike Evans. A 28-yard connection.
Already 1/3 long pickup on this drive. Blitz picked up, giving Mayfield time to find Mike Evans. First catch of the day is a gain of 20, and it keeps this drive going. Baker Mayfield off play action on 1st down. Looking long into coverage, but he's got Evans who pushed off to get free. There is no flag. Mike Evans inside the 20, inside the 10. 1st down and goal. A 60-yard play where he might have gotten away with a push-off. 3rd and long. Mayfield off his back foot. Wants Mike Evans. Got Mike Evans. Touchdown Tampa.
Blitz coming. Oh, what a catch by Evans, and he stays up for a couple extra yards. One-handed grab with Reed Blankenship all over him.
Baker Mayfield to throw. And right there, the catch is made by Mike Evans. Mayfield. Evans, he's got it. Tackled right away by Lattimore.
Trying to let the guys make plays in space. Letting Goff cook a little bit this season. Mayfield scrambling. And Mike Evans just reaching those big paws up and snatching it at the 39.
And actually tackle the football.
Mayfield. Deep. He's got it. Mike Evans. That's a Buccaneer touchdown. Spoken like a true offensive lineman. Mayfield to throw. And what a catch. Mike Evans The fingertip grab with Jesse Bates right there.
Now it's a 4th and 10. One last gasp. And that is going to be caught for a touchdown by Mike Evans. We ain't done yet.
No, we're not.
Wow.
Buccaneers at 3-4. They were 3-4 last year after 7 games. Finished 8-9. Lost to Dallas in the wild card. Of course, they had a different QB. Mayfield, step, deep ball. Mayfield looking for Evans. He's got him. Evans with the grab and the touchdown.
Mayfield taking a deep shot for Mike Evans, and he's got him inside the 10. Mike Evans was not looking back for the ball for a while. When he turned around, it was right there for a gain of 43.
Understands a player's mindset as well as anybody.
3rd down and 5. Mayfield, Evans, he caught this one, and all the way out to midfield. Elijah Molden on the tackle, and a big ovation for Evans, who goes for 27. Mayfield to Evans again at the 5, muscles his way in, touchdown Tampa! A 22-yard touchdown.
Inside the 1. They're going to look to throw it back in the end zone. There's Mike Evans, touchdown Tampa Bay. His first catch of the day is a touchdown.
Really nice. Mayfield doing everything he possibly can. Mayfield throwing towards the end zone. It's caught. Evans, touchdown. And the Buccaneers punch back yet again.
Hurry.
A 3rd down, Mayfield to throw. Mayfield looking to the near side for Evans. He's got it. And Evans is knocked out of bounds inside the 10. And Mayfield looking to throw on 1st down. Has Evans into the open field. And Evans has one man to beat. Inside the 10, dives toward the pylon. He's out of bounds.
3rd down and 6. Mayfield to the end zone. Evans, touchdown! What a dart from Mayfield! And the Bucs regain the lead.
We got Evans lined up on the right. You bring pressure with Allen and Aluakin to the left-hand side, so the safety has to rotate over to try and help, and a quick slant.
1st and 10. Oh, it's caught! What a throw! And what a terrific touchdown reception! Mike Evans has done it again!
Win the NFC South when this season started because of this defense.
3rd down, Mayfield lets one go, and he's got a completion. It's caught by Palmer, the speedster. Or make that Evans. Mike Evans has his first of the day.
They need another 20 yards or so to be within the range of McLaughlin. Mayfield, sideline shot. In the zone, Evans got it. Breaks away from the tackle, and Mike Evans is out of bounds around the 30-yard line.
Just seeing it so quickly.
Very much in field goal range here. Mayfield takes a deep shot now for Evans. He's got it. They'll mark him down at the 1. He beats Sutton again. On 2nd down. Mayfield end zone. Evans caught it. Touchdown, Mike Evans. The game stays alive with the strong hands of Evans. And Mayfield's 3rd touchdown pass of the day.
First one gave Tampa Bay a first. 3rd and 6. Mayfield. Pocket collapsing late, but he finds his favorite target, Mike Evans. 1st down and out of bounds at the Washington 21-yard line. Mayfield looks left all the way. Single coverage, one-on-one. Oh, what a catch! Mike Evans fighting through Benjamin St-Juste for a 17-yard touchdown. Mayfield to the air, to the end zone, to Evans for the touchdown. His 2nd touchdown grab of the day. The 4th touchdown for Baker Mayfield.
Mayfield looking left, throwing left. down. It's Evans. Touchdown, Tampa.
Fake toss. Comes back the other way. Wide open. Touchdown. So Evans comes back into the game and scores. Well, each team with a beautifully executed opening drive.
But it is something Liam Cohen wants to try to emphasize and make teams have to respect.
Despite that, they've gotten to the playoffs. Wide open. Evans. Touchdown. "23 yards. It is the 100th touchdown of his career on 99 receptions.
Evans at the bottom of the screen on first down. Play action. Mayfield. Evans. Touchdown. Tampa Bay.
Mayfield has all sorts of time now. Throws on the run. He's got Evans inside the 20. Evans down to the 10.
3 tight ends. Baker Mayfield end zone. High, one-handed, hauled in, and that's a touchdown for Mike Evans. It's a Bucs score on a terrific catch. Mayfield, middle of the field, open. Inside the 15, down to the 21 is Mike Evans. Mayfield behind, but what a catch by Evans across midfield, and a fresh set of downs for the Bucs.
You know, Mike Evans has been absent in this offense. Yes, he has. Very quiet. Baker over the middle, completes right on cue, and look at Evans hurdling the defender.
Empty set, blitz coming. Mayfield out to the left. Throws on the move for Mike Evans, who gets loose. Down the sideline, Mike Evans. It's a touchdown for Tampa Bay.
They want to control the clock, run the ball, limit your possessions.
Mayfield, shot, end zone, Evans. It's a touchdown. Chargers bring some pressure. Mayfield rips it. Mike Evans on the move. Inside the Charger 40-yard line. Another deflating play for the #1 ranked defense in the NFL.
After the gain of 3, Parsons got a good inside rush. Mike Evans first target of the night. Sensational catch. He's not touched. Let's see, he was touched. Just barely. Mike saying, go quick, go quick. You have a litmus test. You have a good team that needs it tonight. You'll have a team at Philly next week that needs it, and Washington at the end. Complete to Mike Evans to start the drive at the 45 with Tristan Wirfs, the left tackle, protecting.
First and goal with Irving in the backfield. Mayfield double clutch throws. Caught by Evans. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Major statement. Passing yards, 3rd in the league in touchdowns. Fake the handoff. Mayfield to throw. Has the time. Delivers downfield. Going downstairs is Evans for the grab. That covers 20 yards. Mayfield up in the air. Evans! The hands! Secures it for the score.
3 big-time receivers, all of them in the NFL here in 2024.
Send Cameron Johnson in motion. Fake the run. Mayfield drives it. Caught by Evans. Into Carolina territory. 3:33 to go in the 3rd quarter. Wide in the backfield. Fake it to him. Mayfield to throw it. And it's hauled in by Evans.
Unflagged, 4 catches for Evans. First and goal from the 1. Looking to go back to it. To Evans for the touchdown. Fire it up. They fire the cannons. And the Bucs, a kick from Matad.